This is like the 10th time you've been caught driving while your license is suspended or revoked.
After 10 years, I finally got my license. And ain't shit changed with you guys. I'm still in court, even though I got my license.
So don't be coming into court using your wife, who is not your wife, and your daughter to play on sympathy of the.
Moving to get away from the people that have this.
No. Why is cocaine around your house?
Like we were moving. Like it's not my. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not my.
Why? I don't understand why she would test positive for cocaine.
I just thought that people said that it comes out of people's pores.
Welcome back to the courtroom where science goes to die. We're starting off with a classic, the cocaine coming out of pores defense. Not only is she claiming her husband's cocaine somehow seeped into her through a contact high, but she's trying to sell the judge on a biological phenomenon that simply doesn't exist. Watch Judge Boyd's face. She's been on the bench long enough to know that drug tests don't lie, but defendants certainly do.
You touch something, you get it too. That's why.
Email address where you can send a photo of that in or text it into them. I'm giving you an opportunity.
I know, but it's the fact that you sat there and went straight to warrant, dude. And I worked so hard to get my license, and all you guys want to do is just keep harassing me. I'm just gonna say, give it up, dude, because you guys keep bringing me in court and harassing.
You wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, my client really wants to get this behind her, and she hopes that the court follows the agreement we have with the state.
All right. Do you have any children?
Yes.
What are their ages?
I have 4 children. 3 of them don't live at home, but one's 12. He's turning 13 and 26.
All right. And who does 12-year-old live with?
With me and my husband.
Since when?
Since birth.
All right. So what are you doing with cocaine on you?
I have no memory how any of that transpired. I hadn't been in any kind of trouble. I went to go and meet up with a friend, and I had one drink. I remember having 2 or 3 sips out of it, and I don't remember anything else. And I woke up and came back, and I was in jail. So I have no idea.
All right. So have you ever used cocaine before?
When I was 20 or 19, something like one time.
All right.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So here's the thing. You're going to be drug tested today.
Okay.
And what are the results going to be? And here's the thing. Just be honest with me. I'm inclined to grant your application. I'm trying to figure out what services you need so you won't end up doing 2 years at the state jail facility, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And you're going to get drug tested today.
It's probably going to be marijuana and alcohol. And I don't think it's a coke, but
So marijuana, alcohol, potentially coke.
And there it is. The I have no memory defense lasted all of 60 seconds before she admitted to marijuana and alcohol. In a legal sense, honesty at this stage is her only move, but she's digging a hole by admitting to having cocaine around the house with a 12-year-old present. That's not just a drug issue, that's a CPS red flag. Question for you guys. At what point does a judge stop being a counselor and start being a hammer? Let me know in the comments.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was around the house. And that's why my husband, we're moving. So we're moving to get away from the people that have this.
No. Why is cocaine around your house?
Like we were moving. Like it's not my. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not my.
Why is cocaine around your house?
Judge, I think she was saying she's moving, and the people that she lives with have the cocaine. That's why they're moving.
So, but why would she be positive for cocaine unless she's on the manufacturing line, potentially? I don't understand why she would test positive for cocaine.
I just thought that people said that it comes out of people's pores, and if you touch something, you get it too. That's what I heard on it.
So have you been touching people?
I'm just like, we live in the same place. So I was just thinking it meant.
Are you trying to say that you might have a contact?
Yeah, something because I've been around it.
All right, so it is 10:16 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you be positive for alcohol? It's morning time.
So I drank yesterday.
All right, and then the marijuana. Why would you be positive for marijuana?
Because it lasts in your system for like 3 weeks, right? Like 3 months or something.
So you have a 12-year-old and you're using marijuana. You're around people who have alcohol, who have cocaine just laying around an apartment. I don't understand why you have a 12-year-old living in that situation.
That's why we're moving. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I'm disabled. I want to get a disability check. So like And then he got a better job, so now we were able to get our own place away from all this other stuff so that we don't have to deal with it anymore.
Okay, at the end of the day, honestly, and I will tell you, your attorney has done child protective services cases. I don't understand why child protective services is not involved in your life when you're at Circle K and the officer is called out because they say you're causing a disturbance at Circle K and you had a previous criminal trespass there. And that officer tells you, you know what? Let me know where you need a ride. I'll give you a ride to that location so there won't be any problems. And you said, nope, I'm not taking a ride with you. And so he's getting ready to leave and you go right back to Circle K causing issues. And this is not the first time you had a criminal trespass with the Circle K.
Actually, it is. But I know.
No, I mean, it's not,
Well,
according to the report. All right. I don't know why Child Protective Services is not involved in her life. Child Protective Services should be involved in her life because marijuana, alcohol, cocaine, 12-year-old around marijuana, alcohol, cocaine does not mix. So I'm going to do what I can do to protect the child and hope.
Judge Boyd is shifting gears from empathetic to protective. Notice how she explicitly mentions Child Protective Services. In many jurisdictions, a positive test for meth or cocaine while being the primary caregiver of a minor is an automatic referral. The judge is essentially telling her, I'm going to do the job the state should have already done. This is a high-stakes pivot. One wrong move from here, and she loses her kids.
Hopefully set conditions for her where she will be successful. And I'm going to give you these conditions. And if you miss any of these appointments, a warrant is going to be issued for your arrest. Do you understand? Are you employed?
no,
How do you support yourself?
I get disability
Disability for what?
or bipolar disorder.
All right. Okay. It's ADHD and bipolar. That's what people always get disability for. So how long have you been diagnosed with bipolar?
Since I was 25.
Okay. And has your 12-year-old been diagnosed with anything?
I mean, because ADHD, but there's no, they say,
And is she getting SSI for her ADHD?
no.
Court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 4 years. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. There's going to be proof of employment or SSI within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once she completes parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. We can do a TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow all recommendations. If they recommend inpatient treatment, she'll go into inpatient treatment. There's going to be 180 sober meetings in 180 days. Probation, sorry, I'm going to need you to do Child Protective Services job or help them with their job. I'm going to ask for field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And probation is you can let them know. She says there's a 12-year-old at the home, and to make sure they check on the 12-year-old. Probation, is there anything else she needs? All right, thank you. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person and the UA hotline until further notice. And there's to be no contact with Circle K. Let's see where this is located. At 5494 Babcock Road. 78240. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Oh, see this.
Did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Probation, if you can make sure that she gets a UA no later than tomorrow. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you have an issue, you need to let probation know. Do not come at them with this "I don't remember" thing. If you're going to use, pick up the phone, call probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you feel as though they're not addressing the issue, you can always come back to me. Do you understand?
Yes.
And I think you should know that a 12-year-old should not be living in the situation that you have that 12-year-old living in. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Street name. That's not what you said in the police report. You said P1 stated that he didn't know Wood's real name and stated that some, I don't know why people are still using the N-word, don't want their name to be known. You feel me? And I respect it. I go by a street name and he go by a street name. That's what we do. So what's your street
I
name?
go by street names. I don't know why I was in the report.
All right. And what's the 100 on your hand about?
It's 100.
No, what does that mean? You're 100.
It's just authentic, you know. It's old. This is old.
It's what?
It's old. So it really has no significant meaning.
So why would you tattoo 100 on your hand and it has no significant
I
meaning?
mean, it does, but it's not. It's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And what's the lettering on the side of your face?
Some words.
Hmm?
Some words.
Yeah. What are the words?
Against all odds.
All right. And what's the tattoo in the center of your forehead about?
It's a broken heart.
All right. And what's the other one?
Blessed.
And what's the neck tattoo about?
It's just some initials.
Mm-hmm. And what's on the other hand?
It's just a bomb. It ain't nothing.
And what's the initials on your hand?
My partner that got killed. Just in remembrance of my partner that got killed.
Mm-hmm. So how did he get killed?
Gun violence.
Mm-hmm. And why are you riding around with a gun in the vehicle?
Yeah.
All right. That's what the police report says.
I'll be charged with a gun.
Mm-hmm. So your 8-year-old that you're so concerned about now, but you were not concerned about when you were riding around in the vehicle. Where's your 8-year-old?
She's at home right now.
With who?
Safe and sound.
With who?
With my wife. She's good.
No, what does that mean? She good. So here's the thing. You're in a court of law.
Yes, ma'am.
So don't do the slang with me
Yes,
because it will not register with me and it will not register with me purposely on my part.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Switching cases, and we've moved from biological excuses to a lesson in etiquette. This defendant is trying to bring street rules into a court of record. Using slang like "she good" and refusing to use legal names is a fast track to losing a judge's respect. Judge Boyd's clapback about his wife not being his wife is a clinical breakdown of legal status versus personal sentiment. In court, if there's no license, there's no marriage. Period.
your 8-year-old daughter is with, you say, your wife?
Yes.
So you all are legally married.
No.
So that's not your wife. So let's start there. You're not legally married. So that's not your wife. That's the mother of your child.
Yes, ma'am.
You, for some reason, felt she was not worthy to be blessed with a marriage with you. Because did you ask her to marry you? That would be a no. So don't be coming into court using your wife, who is not your wife, and your daughter to play on sympathy of the court.
Right. No,
So that's not, let's start with, that's not your wife. That's the mother of your child. And does she have employment?
yes, ma'am.
All right. And she's always had employment.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have not always had employment.
Yeah. I have.
No.
Yes, ma'am, I have.
And so you're saying you're supporting your wife and your daughter on a salary of detailing cars?
Sale cars and detail cars.
Oh, but not this one, because this one was stolen. So where do you sell and
It wasn't
detail
even-
cars?
It wasn't my vehicle. I was detailing the vehicle, and I got in the situation I'm in now.
All right, what I can
Sell
tell
my
you
vehicle.
is nowhere in this police report, many things were said, but nowhere in this police report do you say that you were detailing that vehicle. You said that Woods loaned that vehicle to you.
No, I said I was detailing the vehicle for him. I don't know why they didn't put it in a police report,
Mm-hmm.
but we always have them type of technicalities.
So you detailing a vehicle for a guy, according to you,
Yes, ma'am.
that you met at the Bear County Jail.
Yeah.
Okay. So where is your shop?
It's like if I met you and
You will not, let me just tell you, you will not be meeting me at the Bear County Jail unless you're a client and I'm an attorney, or unless I'm going to the Bear County Jail to speak to inmates for whatever reason. So where's your detail shop?
don't have one. I'm starting this from the ground up. I'm mobile.
Yeah.
I'm a mobile detailer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So what's the equipments you use to detail since you're mobile, which means you have to take equipment from one place to the other place? Are you just going to somebody's home and using their water and their soap and saying you're a detailer?
Well, unless like I go to a car wash and I do my thing there, you know, I vacuum the car out, tire shine, shit like stuff like that. Excuse my cussing. Yeah, I'm a mobile detailer though.
That's not detailing. I do that to my own vehicle. I vacuum it out.
Use purple power, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yes. That's
detail-
something. Yeah, that's
detail
something you can
products.
buy from any store.
Tough stuff.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, we got to start somewhere, right?
Sure. And let's hope it's not at the Bear County Jail meeting people that we don't know their names, because we don't do that. We just have street names. Deputy Laura, I don't have a street name. When people see me, they call me Stephanie Boyd.
Her name is Judge.
Yeah, okay, that should be my street name, Judge. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is finding you guilty. Court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 3 years. There's going to be a TAP evaluation. Follow those recommendations. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Probably be negative, you know, but I'm not.
When you say you'll probably be negative, why do you think it's just probably?
I mean, it's been a little minute since I smoked, but
Smoked what?
marijuana, you know.
All right, you're not allowed to smoke marijuana on probation or drink alcohol.
Yes, ma'am, I know that. I know that. You won't have no type of issues like that with me at all. Period.
There's going to be 120 hours community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. There's going to be proof of employment
Yes, ma'am.
within 30 days. All right, we can go off the record. So you have a daughter, correct? This is what you need to ask yourself, because children are supposed to be proud of their parents, right?
She is proud of me though.
Yeah, she doesn't know what you're up to. So this is what I'm going to say to you. You need to look at yourself honestly in the mirror and ask yourself, would you want, with the baggage you have right now and where you are in your life, if your daughter were of age, would you want her to bring you home to meet her parents? Yeah, I know the answer is no. So if the answer is no, you know what that means? She is not proud of you right now. You are presenting a picture of yourself to her that is not true. I don't know anybody who would be proud. Oh yeah, my father is taking some car from some guy named Wood. Oh, my father is smoking marijuana. Oh, my father is tattooing his body up with things that mean nothing, like the 100. I'm fine. Here's the thing. I'm fine with people having tattoos. That's fine. People can have tattoos. But if you're going to have tattoos, at least let it have some meaning. You understand? And until you can say you would be so happy that your daughter would bring a guy like you on paper home to meet her family, until you can honestly say that.
I'm a good guy.
No, you're not. You're committed. So you're telling this court that you would be happy and proud of your daughter to bring somebody home.
This is the tough love portion of the program. The judge is dismantling his entire persona, from the 100 tattoo to the mobile detailing business that apparently has no equipment. She's making a brilliant point. Would you be proud if your daughter brought home a man exactly like you? It's a psychological tactic to break through the stuff happens apathy. Do you think the judge is being too personal here, or is this the wake-up call he actually needs?
Who has felony charges?
I mean, stuff,
All right,
stuff happens. It
No, it doesn't. All right, there's no help for you, but here's the thing. You cannot have unsupervised contact with minors. So you know what that means? That means for your child to have contact with you, somebody else needs to be present, an adult who is thinking and looking out for her, because you're not.
I just got caught in the wrong position, you know.
No, you didn't.
I didn't do nothing wrong, man.
You know what? Turn and look at your attorney. Ask her how many times she's been caught driving a car illegally. You know what? Ask the deputies. Deputy Laura, how many times have you been charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle? Vashawn, do you have in your past an unauthorized use of a vehicle that you've done probation for? Zach, have you been at the Bear County Jail staying there because you've been arrested for an offense?
If I say yes, will you? Lawyer?
Yeah. See, that's no. Your attorney hasn't been at the Bear County Jail. And you're telling me with a straight face, jokingly, because you're the jokester from high school, there was always one. You're telling me with a straight face that you would be proud of your daughter to bring you home. And you know what that's saying? The people in that box? No. You see the people over in that box? Some of them have unauthorized use of a vehicle. So what you're telling me is if any one of those guys, if your daughter were an adult, you would be proud for her to bring any one of them home. Yeah, that'll be a no. Thank you very much. Change your life.
Yes, ma'am.
Darren Johnson.
Thank you.
All right. So where we are now, I'm sorry, before I say where we are, is there anything probation wishes to say?
No, Judge.
All right. Let me just tell you where we are now. Where we are now is, do you want to be done with this probation? Are you ready to just move on with your life?
Definitely.
I'm sorry?
Definitely.
All right. So there's one or two ways you can move on with your life. The easy way for the court, and the easy way for probation would be for me to send you to prison for 3 years because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So, I mean, we can help you move on with your life that way.
No.
So why are you not doing your drug test?
A drug test?
Yes.
I don't get UAs.
No, you have not submitted to drug testing. You're gonna submit to drug testing today. Do you
Okay.
understand?
My PO hasn't,
Well, I'm telling you, you're gonna submit to drug testing today. If you do not, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
You're gonna restart the BIPP course.
Yes, ma'am.
If you do not complete that, a warrant's gonna be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
Understood.
Is there anything you do not understand of what's being asked for you?
No.
Probation. Is there anything else she needs?
Judge, once the BIPP, her officer is asking that once her BIPP is finished, that she continue with the TAP recommendation. The TAP recommended dual diagnosis outpatient treatment, monthly drug testing, and AA/NA meetings when necessary.
All right, this is what you're going to do. There's going to be a UA today. What's going to be the results of that UA?
Those are negative. Or positive, I'm sorry.
And what are you going to be positive for?
Marijuana.
And what else?
No.
All right. So this is why you've been falling off.
You said marijuana and what?
And
Yeah.
meth.
Yes, sir. That's not
All right. How often are you using?
not often at all.
What does that mean?
I have really bad anxiety, so I will smoke maybe once in a blue moon.
Okay, meth doesn't help with anxiety.
I know it doesn't.
So
To wake, to stay awake, to be able to function, but
No.
it's not.
my question is, everyone please whisper. So here's the thing. We are past the point of excuses, right? I am trying to figure out what's going on in your life
Yes, ma'am.
so I can potentially get the help you need
Yes,
so you won't be going to prison.
Yes, ma'am.
So there is no excuse for using meth.
No,
You understand? So my question to you is, how often are you using?
not really. I just did it maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and marijuana, I do use it frequently.
All right. So your meth, that hasn't been 2 or 3 days ago, because if it was 2, 3 days ago, you wouldn't end up being positive for it.
I'm not too sure if it comes out of your system. That's why I was being honest.
And what are the ages of your children?
17 and 7.
And where are they right now?
They're at home with my brother. He's watching them.
Is Child Protective Services in your life? Have they ever been in your life?
My mom, I've never had an issue.
And who else is available to watch your children other than your brother?
My mom.
All right. Is your mom in the home?
Yes, ma'am.
So why didn't you lead with that?
My mom works with CPS Energy, so sometimes she works from home and sometimes she has to go to the office. So today she had to go to the office.
All right. There's going to be a UA today, and you're going to do that UA by what time, probation?
3 o'clock.
All right, by 3 p.m. I'm going to want her tested for levels. And what else are you doing or not doing with your life? How do you spend your day?
I'm currently working.
All right.
And when I'm off, I'm with my son right now. At summer, my daughter has a job, so my daughter works. So it's just me and my 7-year-old.
Oh, and is your daughter the 17-year-old?
Yes.
And who all lives in the house?
My mom, my dad, myself, my children, and my brother.
All right. So probation, I'm going to want a field visit. And probation, do you think a referral to felony drug court would help her or no? Or is that too quick?
It wouldn't hurt, Judge.
All right. So we're going to do a referral to felony drug court. And let me just tell you, felony drug court is a difficult program, but they'll be able to help you with all the issues that you have. You have a mental health issue, they'll be able to help you with that. The BIPP course that you're supposed to be doing and the parenting classes that I'm going to order for you, they're going to help you with that. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to go over there and be 100% honest with them.
Yes.
And if you miss your appointment with them, a warrant could be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
I understand.
So we're going to do a referral to felony drug court. We're going to do 120 sober meetings in 120 days. And she's going to restart BIPP. And I'm going to order parenting classes. And once you complete those parenting classes, her community service hours will be deemed satisfied. How far did you go in school?
12th grade. I wasn't able to graduate because I wasn't able to pass my tax test at the time.
Okay.
Science, math.
All right. So what do you want to do with the rest of your life as far as employment wise? What's your dream job?
To supervise where I used to.
I'm sorry, what?
To supervise where I used to.
Okay, supervise where?
Loan companies. Broadway Finance, Midwest Finance, and loan. I used to work in field collections.
All right. So what are you doing to make yourself indispensable to somebody who needs you in finance?
Unfortunately, I can't get a job anymore for my family.
Okay, what did she say?
Unfortunately, she can't get a job anymore because of her felony.
With that field.
With that field.
All right. So then what's plan B? You got to have a plan A, a plan B, a C, and sometimes a D and an E. So what's your second plan?
Oh, it's customer service. That's what I know. Right now, I manage a laundromat.
Okay. All right. So are you taking any classes? Sometimes at the college, they give free classes or they give classes with minimum fees to help people who are trying to improve themselves in their business. Because at some point, there are some occupations that I think are going to be done away with because of computers. Mm-hmm. For example, when I was growing up, they used to have full service at the gas station. Somebody would come out, pump your gas, and you didn't even have to pay extra. They would clean your windows. They would check your oil, tap it off if it needed to be tapped off. Then they stopped doing that. And now at the grocery stores, they're doing all that self-checkout to eliminate cashiers. Mm-hmm. So you need to figure out if where you work, if for some point in time they were to say, you know what, we don't need anybody working here. All we need is somebody to get the money from the machines. You need to figure out how can you make yourself indispensable. In the words of Briscoe County Jr., you need to figure out what the coming thing is and be prepared for the coming thing. Okay. So probation, anything else she needs? No, Judge. All right. So here's the thing. You're on probation. You're on probation, and you're looking at 3 years in prison if you don't successfully complete it. And if you end up going to prison for 3 years, guess what? Your 7-year-old is either going to be either going to be 10 or either going to be 11, and your 17-year-old will be 20. Those are formative years that you will have missed. You're going to need to be clean and sober. If you have mental health issues, we're here to help you with that. Do you understand? And don't come to court positive. But I appreciate your honesty. But don't walk into a court positive when you're here for a compliance hearing. You understand?
Yes.
So they're going to do a referral for you for felony drug court. You let felony drug court know that you want to be in the program. It's hard, but if you successfully complete it and you really work that program, you're going to see great benefits and you're going to see great improvements in your life. You understand?
Yes.
All right. If you need anything else, you can always come back to the court if you feel as though probation is not addressing it. You understand?
Yes.
All right. So just have a seat. Probation is going to go over those conditions with you. And if you ever feel like using, pick up the phone. This is the court where I encourage people. If you feel like you're going to use, pick up the phone, call your probation officer and say, I think I'm going to use. And you know what they're going to tell you? All right, we're going to get you into a sober support meeting, or we're going to do this. The number one thing is not going to be, we're going to file a motion to revoke, because I want you to be clean and sober and healthy. And I want you to successfully complete this. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you.
I don't know how that's supposed to make me feel sorry for you. You've
I don't
just
want
been
to feel
driving
sorry for
around
my
for 10
life.
years, even though you're not supposed to be driving around for 10 years. To read, this is suspended up, so I'm going to read it to you. It says that on or about September 30th this year on 54th Street there in Lee Township, that you were driving while license suspended. That is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fines and costs. Understanding that charge, do you wish to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty to that charge at this time?
Not guilty.
And should you go all the way to trial, are you looking to have trial in front of a jury or in front of a judge?
Jerry.
You can go ahead and continue to represent yourself for your charge like you are today, or you could always hire an attorney. I will give you a PR bond on this because you're not standing in front of me. If you were in front of me, you would not get a PR bond. You'd be sitting in jail between your court dates. And you're in the driver's seat right now while you're calling court.
I have a license. I had my license the next day after that. The only reason it got suspended was due to an insurance issue. I literally got my license within 24 hours of getting that ticket, man.
And you already have a subsequent offense on October 9th.
What do you mean? The driving on a restricted?
Yes.
That's because the cops don't know what they're doing. The only restriction I have is that
you don't have a PR bond?
The audacity is off the charts. This final defendant is arguing about a suspended license while currently sitting in the driver's seat during a court Zoom call. This is the grand finale of bad decisions. He's claiming he fixed his license, but the court computer says otherwise. Pro tip, if you're going to lie to a judge about your driving status, maybe don't do it while holding a steering wheel on camera. That PR bond just turned into a warrant in record time.
You have a cash surety bond, sir. What you need to do now is come in and post your cash surety bond.
I don't have money, sir. I mean, I guess you got to put a warrant out.
Well, and that's what we'll do, sir. You have a warrant out.
Why did you do me like that? Like, I literally have a license and you're doing me like this. Like, I had a license when I got restricted. The only restriction is that I must have obtained SR22 insurance, but it does not
list of prior violations to tell you why I'm doing you like this.
And that's what I'm talking about. Is I haven't had a license in over a decade, and I finally get my license. You're gonna give me a warrant? Are you serious? I finally spent $10,000 and spent 2 years to get my license. You're gonna give me a warrant?
When is it you think you fixed your license?
I fixed my license. You should know me, man. I've dealt with you for years and years and years and years and years because I never could get my license, but I have my license for once within the last 10 years. You're going to give me a warrant?
Sir, your license wasn't even eligible to be unsuspended.
You want me to bring it in right now?
Till the 20th of September.
Sir, I promise you I have a license. I'm trying to explain this to you. The only reason I lost my license was due to the insurance that I had a mishap with them. So then I called them. I re-got my insurance, which is SR22 insurance. That is a liability insurance driver. I'm getting sued through a law firm.
Here's what I'm asking you. When is it you went and fixed your license?
The day after I got that ticket. Legitimately, the day after.
After this ticket that we're talking about right here?
8/27/2024 is when I got my first one issued, but I must obtain the special insurance in order to keep my license. That insurance, they said I didn't fill out paperwork and sent it in, but I had the paperwork in front of me. But I fixed that the day after getting that ticket. That's the only reason it was suspended, was because of the insurance drop. But I legitimately got it within 24 hours after getting that ticket. And then the
What did you
restrictions.
get? What it was your restrictions you're in violation of this month on the 9th?
Nothing. I even took that ticket into the Secretary of State the day after I got the driving unrestricted. I took that, and because I'm tired. I pay $300 a month to keep my license, and I keep getting harassed by the police officers because in their system it just says restricted, and it does not give any restrictions. So I went to the Secretary of State the day after getting driving unrestricted, and they told me the only restriction I have is that I must.
Mr. Reed, I'm going to give you a chance because the other thing is you don't ever have insurance. But for you to get your license back from Secretary of State, even though you didn't have insurance in February of this year, you must have it now or they wouldn't have given you your license back. So you're telling me you have insurance?
Yes, there's insurance on every vehicle I drive, and I have a license.
I'll tell you what, you send proof that you send proof that you have insurance in by close of business today, and I won't put a warrant out. We'll leave it at a PR bond.
Well, my SR22 insurance is non-driver SR22 insurance. I'll bring that paper in too, because that's like my personal insurance for me. But I am eligible to drive anybody's vehicle that's not registered in my name. So it's in my wife's name, but there is insurance on every vehicle I drive. But I'll bring you this insurance paper too, the SR22 that covers me for anybody's vehicle. So
you need to send it in by 5 o'clock, or you're going to get issued a warrant. You understand that?
I don't have no way to send nothing in. Can I just bring it in?
You can text a picture of it. It should be in the car with you, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere in this mess because once again, I've been.
All right. Then you have almost 2 hours. Find it in your car, take a picture of it, and text it to the district court.
Where do I text it to?
Okay. Listen to me. Right on your notice to appear today is the phone number for the district court, 673-0400. And they will give you either an email address where you can send a photo of that in or text it into them. I'm giving you an opportunity. Right?
I know, but it's the fact that you sat there and went straight to warrant, dude. And I worked so hard to get my license, and all you guys want to do is just keep harassing me. I'm just gonna say, give it up, dude, because you guys keep bringing me in court and harassing me when.
Mr. Reed, this is like the 10th time you've been caught driving while your license is suspended or revoked.
After 10 years, I finally got my license, and ain't shit changed with you guys. I'm still in court, even though I got my license.
All right. Well, you know what to do. We're all set for today. You'll get another court date in the mail.
So just
send proof of insurance in.
Just the court number. That's all I gotta do is just text it to the court number. I mean, I'm gonna screenshot everything I do because I don't know how to do this. I've never done this, dude. Because once again, I've never had my license before.
How that's supposed to make me feel sorry for you? You've just been driving around for 10 years, even though you're not supposed to be driving around for 10 years.
I mean, I got family. What am I supposed to do? Just let them live on the streets? I mean, it is what it is.
No, sir. You're supposed to follow the law like everyone else. And when you don't, you get in trouble for it, right?
And I've handled it every time, but I don't deserve this one. And that's the only reason I'm getting this. I'm sorry for my language. I seriously put $10,000.
Hey, listen, Mr. Reed, I'll make another deal with you. I see a whole bunch of criminal offenses in your record here. And you said you've dealt with it every time. I got a bad feeling that when I run your name, you owe the court a lot of money and haven't paid off these going back till 2016, 2010. But you're telling me you took care of it every time, so you don't owe the court a bunch of money on a bunch of files?
No, man, like I took care of everything to get my license. But yes, I pay you guys $40 a month.
Okay, so you don't. So you tried to take care of it, but you really haven't.
No, I literally have.
You just rack up more and more money that you owe the court every time you get caught, right?
No, I pay $40 a month like I have been. I mean, I've had an agreement with you guys for like 3 years now that I paid. I don't.
Sir, you would owe thousands of dollars to court. $40 a month is not really making much of a dent in it. And then you just keep driving. Because the time before this was February of this year. You were driving without insurance when you weren't supposed to be driving, right?
When? February what?
You owe $5,777 to the court for unpaid traffic matters going back to 2018. And you're vaping in court as you sit in the driver's seat of your car for a driving while
I
license
have a
suspended.
license. Sir. I have a license. Yes, I'm sitting in the driver's seat of my car because I have a license.
Sir,
It was
listen to me. I'm going to explain
my
this. I'm going
kids
to
were
explain
young.
this to you as easily as I can. You have a license, right?
Yes.
When the Secretary of State finds out about the ticket that we are here on today, guess what they're going to do to your license?
I'm going to come talk to the prosecuting attorney and get it solved. So, I mean, at the end of the day,
They're going to suspend you all over it.
not if I take care of it with you guys, not if I plead it down to where I don't get my license suspended because I've never had my license before and I'm actually trying to do the right thing for once. You just keep harassing me.
They already did that to you in February, permitting another person to drive. Matter of fact, they did that in 2020 and in 2019 and in 2018. Those are all the times the prosecutor gave you a break and lied and said you were permitting someone else to drive beside you.
And I never asked them to do that. They offered that to me. I never asked them. Never asked them for anything. They just really offered it to me. I'm literally asking because I'm actually trying to do the right thing for one. You know what I mean? But that's for another day.
All right, sir. We're all set for today. You know what to do.
673-0400.
Yes, but you can't text to that number. You call that number, they're going to give you an email address. I believe
Okay,
it
that's what
is districtcourt@allegancounty.org, but I don't want to go. Well, I'm getting the nod that that is it. You can text a picture of it to the email districtcourt@allegancounty.org.
Ms. Cummins, the pre-sentence investigation report.
State has, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
I want to commend you folks on getting this matter resolved through mediation. Mediation is a good process. It's not always successful, but when it is, it bestows the benefit upon the defendant of being able to control her destiny, for lack of a better term, as opposed to what may happen if you proceed to trial. Nothing forces you to do it, but sometimes defendants like to determine the outcome of things, or at least know going in the door what's going to happen. So good job to all of you on that. So with that being said, Mr. Mosher, you had something you wanted to address with the court?
Yes, Your Honor. Prior to proceeding with sentencing, Your Honor, I'm requesting that the defendant undergo a UA. Based on my observations, the observations of law enforcement and the observations of court personnel, I have reason to believe that the defendant is impaired or under the influence. She is currently subject to bond conditions to where she is not to consume illegal controlled substances or alcohol, and is subject to random UA, breath or blood tests. And based on that and the seriousness of these proceedings, I believe that my request for UA is reasonable.
Mr. Mayor, what's your position on that?
Your Honor, I would object. My client is not under the influence of any illegal substances. She does take prescription medication. And so Judge, we would object at this time.
Well, I think the number one question I've got is, does your client actually take prescription medications? And if so, what are the side effects or contraindications?
Judge, she takes, it's like a non-narcotic, but it's for muscle relaxer.
Does she take all of those simultaneously, or are they staggered throughout the day?
Judge, she takes in the morning, and then the other one she takes at nighttime.
Mr. Mosher, what's the basis? What phenomena or symptoms have you observed that makes you think that a UA may be appropriate at this time?
Your Honor, the behaviors I'm seeing, I would associate with what I've observed previously, what law enforcement described to me as tweaking. And I can try to bring the officer in if you want to hear more from him, if that's the case, Your Honor.
I think the best way to handle that is we bring him in and we actually swear him in, and when we do, I'll allow you to ask your questions, and then I'll allow Ms. Premier to do that.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, he got called for a EMS run on the life flight, but he believes there's other personnel to cover, so he said it'd take him about 5 minutes to get here.
Okay, if we can stand in recess at this point. I will caution you, Ms. Primera and Ms. Cummins, that the underlying conviction in this case is in fact for unlawful possession of a controlled substance, which is methamphetamine. And if in fact, if the court orders that you were to submit to a UA, I'm going to be very, very concerned if in fact you test positive. Maybe think about that for a few minutes and maybe.
I mean, I can tell you now that my client will likely test positive. I don't think that she's currently under the influence at this time. I've met with Ms. Cummins on numerous occasions and I don't see a change in her behavior. That's my observation. Clearly, she does have a drug problem. That's why the plan was to get her on probation, get her into a drug and alcohol evaluation, and then hopefully get her into treatment. But I don't think that she's under the influence today.
Well, okay, she does have a bond condition then that requires her not to utilize drugs. Additionally, she's a convicted felon at this point. There's an admonition, I'm sure, from Judge Velez that she wasn't to utilize any substances between now and then, or not to engage in any unlawful activities. And the concern becomes, okay, based on my fairly knowledgeable experience with this, there's a fairly short lifespan on the metabolism rate of the methamphetamine compound. So that would indicate most likely recent or heavy usage. So, Mr. Mosher, if we assume for a second that she's going to test positive and she does not challenge it any further, what would the state's position be?
Your Honor, I to some extent, I would leave that to the court. I'm just concerned if Ms. Cummins is impaired to, and this isn't the first time I've encountered this type of situation, I've taken the same approach. Given the seriousness of the situation, I'm concerned with going forward with sentencing if she is in fact test positive.
Okay. If that's the case, I most likely will probably agree with the state because the last thing they'll really want is an individual who ostensibly is under the influence, particularly if her counsel has a good faith basis to believe that she will test positive. We will continue the sentencing, and I will probably want her taken into custody until she presents with a clean urine sample. And then secondly, she'll be tested before her next sentencing hearing. So why don't I go off the record? Ms. Primera, you go and talk to your client for a minute while we wait for the officer, and then you let me know what you want to do after having time to consult with your client.
Judge, I have consulted with her. Well, I'll talk to her now. I'll be back in a few minutes. That's fine.
All right, we'll stand in recess. Kansas, we've had let me get back on the record. Sorry. We are back on the record in State of Kansas versus Jennifer Shanae Cummins. The case number is 20 CR 17. Ms. Premier, I provided you an opportunity to confer with your client in confidence in regards to the state's request for a pre-sentencing UA. They've at least proffered a good faith basis, and you've at least proffered some disturbing facts. I left the ball in your court. The officer is now present and can provide the court with his testimony. Have you, after discussing with your client, how do you desire to proceed at this point?
Well, Judge, I mean, she will test positive. I don't know that the officer's testimony is needed today. I don't know if he's ever even met her previously, but Judge, I could make arrangements for her to get a drug and alcohol evaluation between now and her next sentencing. It is my understanding from my client that she has been, since her release from jail, she has had long periods of sobriety and then would relapse. She has had two recent deaths. Stepson of her passed stepson of hers passed away in June, and then recently a friend of hers committed suicide. So that triggered her usage. She does believe that she can maintain sobriety and doesn't feel the need that she needs to be placed into custody in order to be sober. I will tell the court that she does have 2 young children, which she has custody of, and maintains the home for those children. So my concern is if she does go into custody, or if the court orders her into custody, that this could trigger a whole sync case and it could be placed in DCF custody and just disrupting the whole family.
Where's the natural father at, or the significant other?
So the oldest child, her father is incarcerated somewhere, and then the youngest child, he lives in Wallace County and has weekend visitation.
Mr. Mosher, I'm willing to accept the proffer of Ms. Premier Chavez that her client will test positive for today's purposes. Is that adequate for your purposes, or do you still want the officer to testify?
Your Honor, I would tell you that in the recess, I told the officer what he would be expected to testify about. One of the things that he expressed his concern to me, that his greatest concern based on his observations was the fact that the defendant drove here and will be leaving here again in a vehicle, and he did not feel that that was a safe condition based on how she presented to him.
Ms. Premier, where does your client live?
She lives in Deerfield.
And how far from Tribune is that?
Like an hour and a half, hour and 15, I would say.
Where are the children at now?
I'm sorry.
Where are the children at now?
Oh, they took the bus home from school, and so they should be at that residence.
Who lives in the residence besides the defendant and the children?
Nobody else.
Are there family members in the town where she lives at?
No, Your Honor.
We've got a problem, obviously. Are you sure?
Judge, she could make, if the officer is concerned about her driving, Ms. Cummings could make arrangements for somebody to come pick her up and drive her back, and then they could possibly come and retrieve the car with someone else if the officer has concerns about her driving.
Well, I would think that Ms. Cummings would be concerned about her driving because the officer ostensibly has a good faith basis to issue yet another charge, and I'd be worried if I were her about having a potential another conviction. Mr. Mosher, I don't know what facilities are available up there or what programs are available. But if I order her to be taken into custody until she gives a clean UA, is there anything that can be done to ensure those kids are taken care of until she's released and can pass the UA? I don't want them left alone.
Yeah, I understand the court's concern, and I do not know because Deerfield is Kearney County, I believe, and I'm not sure what's available there, Your Honor.
Well, I suppose an order for protective custody could be issued, but that would need to originate from the county where the children are at. Am I right on that?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe that is correct.
All right. I'm going to order that the defendant be taken into custody until she completes your analysis and is clean. I'm going to ask the county attorney contact the Kearney County attorney and take the children into protective custody, and we'll let it fall out from there. I don't think we can jeopardize the safety of those children. If mom is in a remission right now, that means those drugs may be prevalent in the house. It's certainly not a lifestyle those kids need to be exposed to. And then we're going to go ahead and reschedule the sentencing in this matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Chavez, Mr. Mosher, how likely is it that you can get that accomplished, or what happens to those kids if, for example, you can't get hold of Mr. Gallegos?
I don't know, you know, they would, obviously, from my opinion, I guess they would be unsupervised, which is not a good situation, Your Honor.
As an alternative, I think DCF could be contacted and they could take those kids into protective custody as well.
Judge, my client believes that if she were to reach out to the youngest child's father, that he could possibly care for the children instead of placing them into custody until she's released.
Is this something that can be accomplished fairly quickly?
Yes.
All right, next 5 minutes.
Can we take a recess to find out if that can be accomplished, Your Honor?
That's what I was going to suggest. All right, we're going to stand in recess. In all likelihood, the defendant would test positive for methamphetamine on this date, the date of her sentencing. So with that being said, that brief overview, Ms. Berger, what's your client's position at this point?
Judge, I wanted to let you know I spoke with Retta Underwood, who is the
Protected, and they're not sitting in a home without somebody taking care of them. And if you feel comfortable with those representations, then at some point we have to rely upon that. I would rather they were in the custody of a family member as opposed to being taken into foster care, for example, whatever the situation may be. So with that being said, we are not going to have a sentencing on this date. We're going to take Ms. Cummins into custody, and she's going to remain there until she tests positive for a urinalysis.
negative.
Negative for a UA. The other concern that I've got is, does that satisfy the inquiry of the state, or is the state looking to revoke her bond in its entirety, or will that suffice for now?
That will suffice for now, Your Honor.
The other thing, I'm going to add some additional conditions of your bond here, and that's going to be that you're going to have to undergo at your expense every Monday and Thursday until the date of your sentencing a urinalysis, and it needs to be at somebody reputable. I know in Finney County, Excelicare will do theirs, and some of the trucking companies will do those, and they're certified. If you don't do it, you got a big problem. So that's Monday and Thursday. I want those results submitted to Mr. Mosher's office no later than 5 o'clock on those 2 days. Finally, be prepared at your next sentencing hearing. You're going to be subjected to a UA before we ever commenced with the actual sentencing itself. Are there any other conditions that the state would request at this time?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look for a new sentencing date. I would probably encourage you, Mr. Premier, just like you indicated earlier, that between now and the next sentencing date, that you obtain some type of drug evaluation if possible. If not, it will be ordered pursuant to the PSI. If your client truly has the problem she does, says she does, it may be beneficial to even assist court services or community corrections, excuse me.
Your Honor, just not to interrupt, but I still have Ms. Underwood on the line. Can I let her go so she's not just on hold?
That's fine, and you can authorize her to go and pick those children up now.
Ms. Underwood, can you go get the children?
Yes.
Okay, so
They need to be with family.
okay, so if you wouldn't mind going to get them, I'm gonna let you off the line, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so for a sentencing hearing, I'm looking at, well, we can go to October, but I'm concerned if your client's problem is as bad as you've indicated, that she's going to have a significant relapse. There's going to be bigger problems. That's what I'm concerned about. On the 5th of September, I'm available.
That's Labor Day, Your Honor.
So I'm not.
10 Mountain, that'd be 11 Central.
All right, I always get confused on this. If I need to be there by 10 your time, what time do I need to leave here?
10.
You would need to leave there 9:30 Central Time.
Okay. So, I feel like I'm in a MASH episode. We're gonna have the sentencing hearing at 10 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time. All parties will appear in person. That's on the 11th of October. And I'm gonna leave at 9:30 to be there by 10.
Correct.
Which was a day to go yesterday, so. All right, so in the interim, Ms. Cummins, got your marching orders, so unfortunately, you're gonna have to do those UAs, and they're not cheap on Monday and Thursday of each week. You kind of brought this on yourself, and I'm sorry you gotta incur those expenses, but, it's better than the alternative, don't you think? Okay.
And those need to be faxed or emailed to my office by 5 p.m. on the day of the test, correct, Your Honor?
Correct. It has to be from a reputable or certified individual testing agency. So for example, I had a case one time where domestic matter, but the husband was utilizing heroin and meth, and the judge ordered him to submit to a UA. Well, he took a video of himself taking a pee and submitted that to myself and the court. No, that doesn't work. Then he tried a home kit remedy. No, that doesn't work. I want it from an agency because he was manipulating it. So that's why I want it to be from somebody reliable. All right. I would impose a reporting requirement, but I don't know if Kearney County would do that, and having a report by phone to the Greeley County Sheriff's Office seems like kind of a waste of time. So the original conditions of your bond are reimposed. You've got your UA requirements that are imposed on you. And I think you got more at stake the next time around if it happens again, because then your kids are going to be brought into this in all likelihood. So have I made myself clear today on what's expected of you, Ms. Cummins?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything else we need to put on the record for today's purposes?
Good. I just have a few questions. She's gonna stay in custody until she tests negative. How often are they gonna test her?
I don't know. It's not my issue. I think they're going to test her as often as they need to until they get a clean sample. So perhaps the best thing she would be to do is to say the last time that she used, and they calculate it out from there, and really come up with a reasonable time.
I just wanted to make sure that she's just not, they don't just leave her in there.
Well, no, I think law enforcement has a good faith obligation, and Mr. Mosher's going to make sure that she's submitting to a UA at least on a regular basis, maybe once a day or whatever until she tests clean. But I don't think they're just going to leave her there. But obviously, if she just used earlier today, you got to wait about 24 hours for it to metabolize anyways. So in all likelihood, they'll start tomorrow.
She will be tested daily, Your Honor.
Okay, thanks. And then, Your Honor, you stated earlier that she can get testing done in Deerfield or Garden City. Did you name some places? I'm not familiar with where she.
One place, and that was called Excelicare. It's a physical therapy place, and they also do testing there. And they are located next to the DCF building in Garden City, over there by the Bonanza restaurant. There's a trucking company in town there's a testing company in town that does it for truckers, but I don't recall what that's called.
Okay, thank you.
If you Google it, I think she can probably find it, but it got to be certified.
Okay. Thank you. I have nothing else.
All right. With that being said, then we'll stand in recess. Connos, I wish you the best of luck. I really don't like to have to do these things to you, particularly when there's kids involved, but you got to play by the game, okay?
I understand. Probably help me a little bit.
All right. Thank you very much. And we'll stand. Anything else the state wants on the record at this point?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right. We'll stand in recess until our next hearing. Thank you so much.